but we're going to eliminate the set-aside program. So for example, let's assume Trump administration says, we're going to introduce a new small business program, but we're going to eliminate the set-aside program. That's one of the 10 that he eliminates. Is that good?
I mean, it'd be bad, right?
That would hurt women-owned businesses.
Yeah, absolutely hurt.
Veteran-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, socially disadvantaged businesses, HUBZone companies can hurt them.
Yeah.
But doesn't that create a more fair opportunities, fair for all small businesses? If we remove the socially disadvantaged regulation, it will open up more doors for all small businesses to compete.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I mean, if the agencies aren't pushed to do small business contracting, they won't. And because it's easier for them to just deal with a large company, right? Even maybe they may or may not get lower prices or better pricing from a large business, but theoretically they could. Small businesses or large businesses have the ability to offer products and services at a cheaper price than small businesses, just given the economics of what they do. So if they're not mandated to do small business contracting, then I mean, if I'm a contracting officer, I'm just going to go to Deloitte and have them do everything. Like all the contracts I need get done, just call, and I can just interface with just one person. I have to interface with a whole bunch of different companies. I mean, just even the contract startup process, getting people onboarded, getting your company registered, getting your, like all that stuff would literally be eliminated because these large companies are already doing business with these federal agencies. So they already know what's required. They have all the processes in place. It makes everybody's life a lot easier.
If I'm speaking from a contract officer perspective, I'm risk averse. I've got all these projects, all these awards I have to put out. And if the Trump administration says, hey, don't worry about set-asides, don't worry about, all this little regulations, because that makes it harder for a contract officer to choose the most qualified company to do the work, makes it easier. It's going to make government smoother. It's going to make the contract officer be able to process opportunities faster. They're just going to choose the most qualified company, regardless of size, regardless of social status. That might be very positive for the government overall. No,
I don't agree with that. I do agree that it makes the government and the lives of the contracting officers much easier. No doubt about that. But in terms of it being good for small businesses or the most qualified business, that's not necessarily the case. Especially when we talk about qualified. I mean, when you're talking about like what does it mean to be qualified? Past performance. Having all of the financial, aspect of your business being really solid, being able to put people on a project because you have a bench, all of those things lend itself towards larger businesses, which would make it much more difficult for small businesses to compete. Especially, everything we know that we talk about quality or being qualified. Obviously being qualified is important, but it's relationships at the end of the day. The large businesses have the means, have the ability to create relationships and maintain relationships in the government at a much larger scale than a small business could. So again, I don't see how that would be good for a small business.